All right, welcome everybody out there. Hopefully you can hear me and see me all right. Once again, another arena down here in Fargo. It doesn't have great spaces to film from. Also has terrible service. So we're working off the Wi-Fi. So hopefully that doesn't affect us too much. You can probably see some windows across from me. I tried going up there, but with the way I get my camera close to the glass, we'd be missing half the action on each end. It cuts off basically from the net to the corner, so you wouldn't be able to see very well. And then I tried the stands there, but as you see that black line that goes right across the top of the glass, I'm so close to it that that's right in the middle of the field of play. So down in the corner we go. That's where we will be for this one. It won't be ideal, but I can promise you tomorrow at the Huck Olson and Thief River, we'll have a lot better view over there, as I know there's a press box that I can get up into and be able to film from there. Can't guarantee the service is going to be the greatest there, but at least we'll get a better camera view on that one. So this afternoon we take on Fargo Angels. Last time I looked, they were 1-2 in league play. The Aviators were sitting at 2-0 at that time. I think they're still sitting there. I believe this is their first game back for league. We did play some league teams in a tournament, but obviously that one didn't count, being in tournament like that. So this one matters. This one counts for points, standings in the league. Not sure what to expect from these Angels. Last year, one of my son's team took them on, absolutely destroyed them the first game, and then Angels found another gear in the second one. We're able to take the lead early and hold on to that through the rest of the game. So you just never know. Sometimes they come to play, sometimes they don't. Same with the Aviators here. Will they come out with some fire at not having played hockey for a few days, or will they come out flat, have a little slump after the Thanksgiving holiday? Hopefully each and every one of you out there enjoyed some good food and some time with family. No, I did. Nice and relaxed at our house, which was good. Under 2 minutes to go here in the warm-up, and then we'll get this game underway. It's supposed to start at 1:15. So we'll get that started basically right about on time. If you haven't yet, it'd be awesome if you did. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That'll keep you updated on when new games are coming out. Our new lives will be coming. Also, it helps us get to some certain points in our YouTube channel where we can do a little bit more fun stuff with it. It's a little bit limited at first, but the farther you get into it, the better they'll open up the options for it. So we are about a minute before we get this underway. Once again, it'll be the Aviators, Bantam Red, taking on the Fargo Angels. Nice new rink here down in Fargo, Fargo Park Sports Center, they call it. It's got a couple ice rinks in it. Then on the other side, they have 2 or 3 big turf fields for soccer, lacrosse, whatever else they may want to use it for, football, baseball. They also do have a nice workout facility, and then it'll look like about 18 to 20 courts for basketball and volleyball as well. So I believe we're getting a version of this in Grand Forks. It will not have the hockey arenas in it, but it sounds like they may be adding a community pool into that. So that'll be exciting for the citizens of Grand Forks. All right, I don't think we're going to see too many lineup changes here for the Aviators. The only thing we'll see is it was supposed to be, I believe, Blake's turn in net, but they're going to switch that and put Dom in here. Blake will take on the Prowlers of Thief River tomorrow as we travel over there. Probably a good move by the coaches. Dom had lost a little bit of his confidence there in the last few games, taking on some pretty good competition. Blake's been a hot hand early on here in the season, so good move here. Like to see Blake take on that tougher competition. Dom try to get his confidence back against some of these teams that you don't want to say should be a must win, but in a roundabout way are. The Aviators get ready in the corner here, gather around their goaltender. Last two about to join the group here. Aviators seem to be fired up, ready to go for this one. 17 minutes is up on the board. First period about to get underway. We'll see who comes out first for the Aviators, which line they elect to go with. They made a couple changes, moving people around on that Fargo and Nicholson line. We'll see if they keep those changes or go back to what they were working with. See if the Fiala line stays whole. Looks like it will be. The Fiala line coming out. He'll have Blasky to his left and Shower to his right. Looks like it'll be Jackson and Benson will be starting on defense. Looks like Angels are going to change out their center and wing there last second. Puck is down. We're underway. Blasky with it. Feeds it up the wall. Hits Jackson in the skate. That comes up and hits someone on the bench, but we're going to play on. Puck back behind the net. Picked up by Benson. Puts on the break. Slips away from one. Up the wall over to Shower. Shower centering pass goes off his stick. Jackson slides over and picks it up. He's going to skate this one up right through the middle. Gets it poked off of his stick, but it comes to Blasky. Blasky backhands one in. Jackson will go for a change. Out comes Easton for the Aviators. Sent over the near side. The Angels elect to dump it down in. Dom keeps it behind his net. Picked up by Easton Green. Green feeds it up to Shower. That's off the mark. The Angels steal it away. Return it back out in the neutral zone. They'll bring it right back in here. Shot sent on. That one whistled by the far post. That comes out to the defense. Sent back in. Benson pushes it back out the blue line out into the neutral zone. Angels going D to D. They send one through the middle, but nicely defended by the Aviators and poked back in. That's Luke Nicholson pushes it down low. Mason Fargo out there as well. So a little bit of a change for the Aviators. Got Seffi out there with Luke Nicholson and Mason Fargo. Angels trying to feed this one up front. Headers an opportunity. Shot sent on. Dom makes the save. Another one. Backhand in. That's a goal. Early 1-0 lead here for the Angels as they strike first and poke one in the back of the net. So the Angels get on the board first. 15:35 left in the first period. It's just under a minute and a half here into the first. They get on the board. Some slow, sloppy play out front of their goaltender there. And the Angels get a couple cracks at it, and they find the back of the net. They'll face off, one back by the Aviators. Kulak feeds it up to Berg. Berg tried to backhand one in. Looks like it's stolen away by Bai. He has his pocket picked. The Angels regain control, and they'll bring it out of the zone. Into the Aviators zone. Shot attempt there. Got popped up in the air. Big hit there by Wyatt. Bai takes down number 60. We're going to get hand pass here, and we're going to move it outside the zone. Face off pushed into the Aviators' end. Minima defending. Now over comes Cadenyana to help out. Comes behind the net. Backhanded up the wall by Kulak. Out to the point. Shot through traffic. That one misses the net. Goes to the far side. Picked up by Berg. He chips it out to the point, but Angels keep it in. This one rolls in just along the side of Dom. Charlie tries to push it to the far side. Gets it up the wall. Berg trying to grab that one. Angels with it now. They send it down in the corner. Angels work it to the middle. Got it into the slot, but a good tie up there by Cadenyana. Didn't allow the one-timer shot. Here's Wyatt Bai. Pushes up to Berg. Backhand went through the middle, but taken away by an Angels player. Nicely defended there by Kulak. It gets sent up to Yana, he gets it over to Bai. Bai dumps it in. They'll go for a change. Fresh players coming out for the Aviators. Looks like it'll be the Fiala line. Benson and Daxon back out there as well. This one dumped down in. Daxon will chase after it. It'll go behind the net. Picked up by Daxon. Got his pocket picked a little bit. Bumps the Angels player off the puck in the far corner. Battle for it along the boards. Picked up by Shower, trying to get through the defenseman. Daxon slides over, picks this one up. He sends one through the middle. There's a shot sent on, but easily well wide. Angels winning the puck battles here. Getting to the pucks first. Big hit right here in front of us. Picked up by Daxon. Daxon sends one to the far side. Trying to spring Blasky. It got by him. He chips it down in. Goaltender slows that one down for the defenseman. Shower tries to steal it away. It comes up to the point. Here's Daxon with a shot through traffic. That went up into the netting, though. I believe it went off an Angel's stick before he got a shot off. And we get a whistle and a face-off in the far end. Oh, 13:35 remaining here. First period. Angels getting on the board first. They lead 1-0. Face-off one back by the Aviators. Comes back to Henderson. Shot on. Hits Fargo on the leg. He's limping a little bit. He's going to stay in this play, though. Nicholson behind the net. New look line here for the Aviators. Mason Fargo, the centerman between Seffi and Nicholson, but here's a chance for the Angels. They bring it in. Got to work on Dom. Poke that one through his legs and in the back of the net. And the Angels take a 2-0 lead. Oh, Angels capitalizing on their opportunities. Taking a 2-0 lead here. Not even 4 minutes into this game. Kulak with it. He's going to dump it down in. Angels get control. They go D to D. Sent through the middle. Misplayed. Picked up by the Aviators. Kulak up the wall. Back into the Angels' end. They go D to D once again. Yana trying to steal this one away along the wall, but Angels are able to get it back on the neutral zone. Miedema sends one off the wall up to Yana. Bounce off of his stick. Picked up by an Angel player. Just came off the bench. And a quick offsides there, and we're going to whistle and a face-off just outside the Angels' end. Trying to get it to refocus here. Caught up on the glass a little bit. There's Berg with it. He brings it into the zone. Passes it over to Caden Yana. Yana lost control of that one. Angels feed it back out in the neutral zone. Picked up along the wall here by the Angels. They'll bring this one down into the zone. Working on Daxon, trying to get around him. Sent on net. Knocked away. Sent through the middle. Picked up by wide by. Over to Berg. Far side. They enter the zone. Sent through the middle. Far side corner. Angels get on it first. They chip it to the middle. They'll have control of it. They feed it to the far side. Back come the Angels 2-on-2. Down goes an Angels player. Picked up by Daxon. Goes behind his own net. Sent out front. Benson, nice job getting on that puck. He's going to skate this one forward. Hands it off to Shower. Shower sends it over to Fiala. He gets that puck taken away, and the Angels will work this one out of the zone. Down the far side, trying to get around Blasky. Nice job. Slows up the player there. It allows Benson to get on the puck. Shower tried to chip it up the wall. Had that one taken away, though, and Angels regain control behind the net. Sent out front. A couple Angels players miscommunicated there. Puck went between them both and ended up coming out of the zone. Dump down in. Easton Green goes back for it. He backhands it up the wall, gets to Shower. Shower slows it down, sends him through the middle. That one's backside. Here's Blasky behind the defense. Fiala got in just a step early, and we get an offside. So an opportunity there for the Aviators. They would have been in 2-on-1. But just a little excitement went off sides, and we're going to face off outside the zone. Face off, controlled here by the Angels, who decided to loop back into their own zone with control. They send it up the near side wall. Now skates it through the neutral zone, brings it into the Aviators' end. Rolling pucks in and on Dom. He pushes that one into the corner. Henderson trying to grab this puck, get free of a check. Goes off a skate, comes behind the net, picked up by Mason Fargo. He sends it up to Seffi. Seffi tied up right away. Seffi with it once again, spins away from one check. Had that one poked away. Fargo brings that one in off sides. We get a whistle and a face-off coming just outside the Aviators' end. A little over 10 minutes to go here. Angels 2-0 over the Aviators here early in this first period. Neither one of them a pretty goal, but nonetheless found the back of the net, and they lead this one 2-0. Kulak with it. He sends it up the wall, gets it to Nicholson. Nicholson sends it to the middle to Seffi off for her stick. Angels get control. Angels battling for this one. Kulak rings it around to the far. Picked up by Nicholson. Centering pass goes off a skate. Angels push it back down low. Picked up by Kulak again. He backends him one off the side of Dom. Seffi battles for it. Puck behind the net. Angels trying to find a place to feed this one out into the slot. Charlie gets there first. Had it taken away from him. Now Fargo with it. He lost control of it. Picked up by Kulak. Spins away from one player. He's going to skate this one up. Slips through. Gets it up to Fargo. Fargo lost control of it. Angels grab it again, and back they come. Nice job there by Nicholson. Picked that puck away, but Fargo's able to send it down below the goal line here. They'll be the first ones on it. Puck comes loose, comes over to Nicholson. Works it out of the zone, far side. He gets knocked down along the wall. Angels have it behind their own net. We're going to try and move here so we can get some focus a little better. There we go. Down goes wide. Here's Angels. Splits the D again. In on Dom. Shots in. Goal. They're up 3-0. So 8:52 remaining first period. Angels all over the Aviators 3-0. Face off center ice. Controlled here by Daxon. He sends it off the wall. Goes into the Angel zone. Not very deep here. Puck sent to the near side. Big hit there by Benson. Monster of a hit there by Benson. Trying to set the tone here a little bit. Get the Aviators back in it. Here's a chance for the Aviators. Nice pass there. Back in it through by Wyatt Bog. Got it over to Caden Yana, but he got his stick tied up, and it came all the way through. Angels have control once again. They play pitch and catch behind the net. Comes out to Benson. He sends it down the wall. Gets it to Berg. Berg backhanded one a little deeper, but it was taken out by the Angels, and the Aviators dump it back into the zone. Tied up in the corner. Wyatt Bog has the Angels player. They come free with it. Berg trying to steal this one away. Bog sends it back in, but Angels poke it out in the neutral zone. Easton Green hands it off to Jordy Shower. He has it knocked off of his stick. Fiala brings it in down the left side. Sends him towards the front of the net. That was knocked off a skate. Blasky trying to get control of it. Angels are able to clear it out of harm's way, and they're going to feed this one through the neutral zone to the near side, where Green will pick it up in front of his own net. Offsides there on the Angels, though, and we're going to face off just outside the Aviators' end. Tied up along the wall. Not sure. It went off sides there quick again, so we're going to face off and redo that one. Fiala sends it forward. Angels gather it up. They're going to push this one up the sidewall. Angels trying to get a shot off. Nicely defended there by Henderson. He steals this one away. He's going to skate up, gives it off to Blasky. Blasky backhands one off the wall. Angels steal that one back. Miedema picks it up as he comes off the bench. Sent through the middle. That split everybody. It's going to go all the way down. And we're going to get an icing call on the Aviators here and a face-off back down in their end. Face-off one back, but controlled by the Angels. They send it over the near side. Mason Fargo chases it down. Backhands one up to Seffi. Seffi pushes it further down in the Angels' end. The Angels get there first. Big hit there by Mason Fargo. Arm goes up. Looks like we got a penalty coming to the Aviators. Oh, Mason Fargo, roughing call here. We're going to face off back down in the Aviators' end. They'll go down a man for the next 2 minutes. It was a little close for a checking from behind, but the player was turned, so I agree with the call of going with just roughing, but face off one to the wall. Charlie Miedema slips around one. The Angels push it deeper. Nicholson retreats to get this one. He chips it around one Fargo player. That one goes off the side of the net, comes into Dom. He holds on. We'll get a face off here again. Face off one back. Miedema grabs it. Backhands one up the glass. That'll come out to the point. They're kept in by the Angels. They'll send it down the sidewall. Misplayed. Picked up by Kulak. Kulak chips one out. That goes off a couple sticks all the way down. Rolling puck. Looks like we'll get an icing. We'll reset and do it again. Oh, 6:13 to go here. First period. Minute 38 still on the penalty kill for the Aviators. They trail 3-0 here in the first period. Yet to really get a solid shot on net. Angels controlled the play pretty much the whole way here. They're on the power play. Shot sent on. That's into the glove of Dom. Holds on, and we're going to face off. Out comes Wyatt and Owen Berg. Benson and Daxon will be the defenseman. Still a minute 24 left on the power play here for the Angels. They win the puck back to the point. Daxon slides up. Here's a chance for the Angels. Shots it on. Dom makes the save. Rebound. Out front, still loose. Shot pushed away by the Aviators. Angels get control. They move it to the top of the point. Works this one down low. Pushes it down the sidewall. Behind the net. Daxon trying to get control of this puck. Angels work it up into the corner here. They feed one out to the point. Shot through traffic. They got blocked by Benson. Dom went out to cover it. Got lucky Benson was able to get that one out down the ice. Benson knocks that one away. Gets it to Wyatt. Wyatt back to Daxon. Daxon takes a look. Sends one off the wall. Far side. It goes off of Angels player, so no icing. Gathered up by the Angels. They bring it down. Nice job by Berg. Knocks down a player. He gets hit into the boards here. Angels steal the puck back. Comes bouncing through the slot, but Wyatt smartly just chips it out of the zone. He'll chase after this one. About 10 seconds to go on the power play for the Angels. They lead 3-0 here. About 4.5 minutes to go in the first. Picked up by Caden Yana. We're back to 5-on-5 now as Yana sends that one down. Won't go for icing. Oh, comes Fiala and Blasky with Yana. Here's Henderson. Spins away from a check. Brings in the zone. Got tied up. Lost that puck. Angels gathered up and regroup in their own zone. Dangerous pass there by the Angels, but it works out. A couple of Aviators had a chance to take that one away, and back comes the Angels. Trying to get through the defense. Nicely defended there by Henderson. Gets it over Fiala. Fiala up to Shower. Shower slips around one check. Angels push it back to the line, but Aviators are able to get control of that, and they send it up to Fiala down the far right side. He's around the defense, brings it in, shot. Goaltender makes the save. Henderson with it. He shoots one. That one gets off a body. Does come bouncing back out front, though, out to the blue line. Henderson couldn't keep that one in. He goes over his D partner, Easton Green. Easton sends up the wall to Fiala. Angels are able to send it back down into the Aviators' end. Henderson sends one through the middle. Over to Jordy, trying to get around the defense. Backhands one over. Goaltender stopped that pass through the crease. And the Angels gather that up and back out into the neutral zone they come. Shot sent in on Dom, holds on to that one, get a whistle. So 3:13 to go here, first period. Angels leading 3-0. Out comes the Mason Fargo line. He's got Seffi and Luke Nicholson with him. Angels win the face-off. They send it back to the blue line now, dump it down below the goal line. Picked up by Charlie. He tried to feed it up to Seffi. That went off an Angels stick. They'll have control. Shot through traffic in on Dom. He makes a glove save, holds on. We'll get a face-off. Seffi grabs the face-off, skates this one forward. Hands it off to Nicholson down the right side. He's behind the defense. Shots it on. Goaltender makes a blocker save on that one. Tied up in the corner. Angels get control of it. They work it out. Send it through the middle. Charlie tried to keep that one in. Kulak comes over to try to stop the defenseman. Nice job by Seffi to get back. Help out on defense there. There's Nicholson. Pushes it forward. Gets it to Fargo. Fargo lost control of it. Angels turn it right back in the zone. Down the near side. Seffi defending. Sent it through the middle. Taken away by Miedema. Knocked away by the Angels. It's picked up by Kulak. He gets knocked off the puck. Angels grab it in the neutral zone. Miedema feeds it up to Yana. Yana, far side, hits Nicholson in stride, but gets swallowed up by an Angels defender right away. Now it's Wyatt, sends it over to Jace. Jace chips it out in the neutral zone. Angels go D to D. They try to feed up the wall. Yana trying to keep this one in. Bouncing puck almost comes out, but Berg was able to keep it in. He gets it back on his stick. Had it knocked away. Now to Wyatt. Wyatt shot. Blocked. Didn't quite get through. Angels clear out of the out of their own zone into the neutral zone. Puck sent in. Picked up by Daxon. Trying to settle down this rolling puck. He sends it off the wall. That'll come out to the Angels in the neutral zone. Chipped in, bouncing puck. Daxon trying to slow it down. Gets there first. Sends one off the glass. This one will go all the way down. We got an arm up. It'll go for icing. And we're going to whistle back down here in the Aviators' end. Oh, about a minute and 5 seconds to play here. So far, this one's been all Angels after one. We're almost to the end of one. Aviators just trying to escape the period without any more goals. They're going to have to use the Zamboni break to regroup and try to find a way to get some energy here, get some shots on net. They do have 3. Angels have 9. Big hit along the boards there by Fiala. He's trying to get control of this puck. Angels have it now, though. They're going to try to work this one out, but Fiala knocks it away along the wall. Down below the goal line. Angels have it. They send it over to the near side. Blasky trying to get to the wall. He will. Sends it down in, but it's kicked out by an Angels player, and here they come. Trying to get around Daxon. Puck through everybody, but comes onto the stick of Jordy Shower. Puts on the brakes, feeds one through the middle, gets it to Blasky. Blasky feeds one up to Fiala, but put it behind him, and Angels regain control. They'll bring this one through. Shots and on. Dom gloves that one, holds on, and we'll get a face-off. 11 seconds to go here in the first period. Face-off, push forward, picked up by Green in the corner. He sends it up the wall, gets it to Seffi. Seffi spins, gets this puck out to the blue line, but not out. Shot sent on, went up and over the net. Picked up by Henderson. He slows it down, and that's the end of the first period. We started this game on dirty ice, so we will get a resurface here. And we're going to take just a short little break. Hopefully you'll hang in there with us, and we'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. All right, one short little pass here by the Zamboni, and then that will head off. We'll get the players back out here to warm up and get the second period underway. Aviators got some work to do here early in this second period. They trail 3-0, being outplayed for large portions of that first period. They'll need to find another gear or two, get some jump, get some play going here. Not a lot of great passing plays out of the Aviators, but there's still 34 minutes and 2 periods to play. Aviators are going to have to play strong here and start getting some shots. They got outshot in that first period 9-3, giving up 3 goals on those 9 shots. Ice is a little bit soft out here this afternoon. Puck's rolling on edge, bouncing a little bit, but both teams got to play that way, so we'll have to find a way to work through that. Just waiting on the Zamboni doors to get closed here, and we'll get both teams out on the ice. I see one ready to go already. Here come the Aviators out on the ice for the second period. Well, Aviators got to find a way to test this goalie a little bit. Only gotten 3 shots on him, most of them from a little ways out, so he was able to see him and react to him. Got to get down tight, find a way, maybe get on a rebound after he makes the initial save, get pucks to the net. Taking a few shots from out, haven't quite found their way through the maze of people out front and onto the goaltender, so need to find a way to get some bodies out front, but yet get those pucks on net, get the goalie's eyes out of it. Maybe one will end up in the back of the net without him even seeing it come through, but it all starts right off this initial face-off. They got to get going now, start setting the pace. They do have 34 minutes to play, but that clock will only continue to tick down. Another goal could be a backbreaker here for the Aviators. See the Angels getting stretched out right here in front of us. Aviators are ready to go. Most of the players up skating around now. Referees look like they're raised off now. We'll get the second period underway. So it's going to be the Fiala line coming out for the Aviators with Jackson and Benson on defense. Mason Fiala take the face off. You have Jordy Shower to his right. Ryder Blasky to his left. Goalies are set. Benches are set. Puck is down. We're underway. Second period. Angels win it back. They skate up to the red line, dump it down in. Benson will go behind his own net to pick this one up. Angels get there first. They poke it over the near side. Centering pass comes through everybody. Shot through traffic. Doesn't look like it made it all the way down. Second attempt, he makes the save on. Angels send it over the near side. Be picked up by Blasky. Backhands one up to Benson. Benson trying to get around the defense. Slips through one defenseman, lost the handle on it. Comes over to Jordy. Jordy hands out to Blasky. Blasky shot, glove save, holds on, and we're going to face off. Well, the first real scoring chance there for the Aviators comes just 30 seconds into the second period. Fiala to take the face off, one over to the sideboards. Angels, they backhand one over the near side. It'll come to the winger. Sent through, tipped out front by Fiala, picked up by Blasky. Goes behind his own net, backhands one through the middle. That'll come to a Angels player, but Benson is able to send it towards the net. They knock it down and back out they go. Sent through the middle, stretch pass to the far side, just a little off the mark. Benson closed the gap pretty quickly. Angels send this one to the top of the point. Shots in on another attempt here. Shots at end. Dom ticks that one up into the glass. Caught up on the back of the net. Picked up by Benson. Benson sends it off the wall. Comes up to the point. Shot through traffic. Bouncing puck comes in on Dom. Angels get there, and they somehow sneak one through them into the back of the net. A 4-0 lead here for the Angels. Scoring early here in the second period. Oh, 15:42 left here in the second period, and Angels getting on the board once again. Seffi pokes this one up, comes loose to Mason. He got knocked off the puck. Angels will bring it right back into the zone. Trying to get around Henderson. Shots in on. That one beats Dom over the shoulder into the back of the net. And we're going to see a goalie change here for the Aviators. Blake will come into play. Dom will head off. And the Angels lead 5-0. Aviators with it now. They bring in the zone. Off sides, though. Nicholson trying to get around the defenseman. Poked off of his stick. Henderson brought it in a little early, and we'll get a face-off. Face-off. Sent into the zone. Picked up by the Angels. They go D-to-D with it. They look for an option. They get there by Caden. Yana knocks the puck away. It'll be picked up by Wyatt Bobby. He lost an edge. Sent through the middle. Angels with control. Caden Yana's trying to steal it away. Now it's picked up by Miedema. He sends it off the boards into the zone, but Angels are able to bring it right back out. Berg gathers it up. He sends it up the wall. That's off the mark. Goes all the way down, arm up. And looks like we're going to icing call here on the Aviators. So face off back down in their zone. Fiala line out there for the Aviators. One back into the corner, picked up by Jackson. Gets over to Benson. Benson through the middle, hits Mason in stride. Mason trying to get around the defenseman. Here he comes down the near side, works it towards the net, backhanded on. That one's up and over the goalie's shoulder, and Angels are able to poke this one out. Picked up by Benson. He curls away from a couple of Angels players, sends it up the wall, goes off of Blasky's stick, comes in on net. He stops it off for his defenseman. Angels send it over to the near side here. They're going to skate this one up, backhand it up. Gets it to Benson. Benson trying to send it in the zone. Looks like he will finally do that. Where it's Jordy who's trying to steal this one. He gets over to Blasky. Puck loose. Blasky with it behind the net. Sends it out front. That goes off a skate. Jackson slides up. He takes a look. Shot sent through. It goes off a skate and goes whistling by the side of the net. Aviators trying to control the puck down here a little bit in the Angels end. That one's pushed through the middle. It'll come out loose to Benson. Benson slap shot up. Hits the goaltender in the mask. There's Fiala. That one goes off the crossbar. Picked up by Blasky. Blasky sends it out to Benson again. Benson. Puck bouncing. Comes to Blasky along the wall here. He tries to send it up front. That goes off a body. Picked up by the Angels. Out to the point, but not out. Benson sends another one. That goes off a stick and bounces over the top of the net. Angels gather it up. Mason Fiala trying to steal it away, but Angels are able to bring it down into the Aviators' end. Jackson trying to defend. That one sent in, beat Blake low glove Sodden in the back of the net. Angels lead 6-0. First shot on net there for Blake coming off the bench cold, and they were able to sneak one underneath the glove and in the back of the net and extend this lead to 6. Back comes the Angels. They work it up the far side. Right down the middle now, trying to get through Henderson. Henderson forces the shot, pushes it wide, down into the corner. Easton Green steals the puck back, gets it to Fargo. Fargo feeds it up to Nicholson. Nicholson slips around one defenseman, feeds it to the middle, trying to get it to Seffi. Seffi pushes the man down into the corner. Puck loose behind the net, picked up by Fargo. He knocks the player off the puck. Puck loose along the wall, it's sent through the middle, comes right to an Angels player, and out of the zone they go. Through the neutral zone, poked away by Nick Henderson, but Angels are able to dump it in. It comes into Blake. Try to stop it off for Easton. Easton has the puck now. Lost control of it along the wall. Now it's tied up along the boards. Angels dig it out. Comes loose to Henderson. Henderson spins away from one Angels player. Still has it. He's going to go behind his own net. Down goes Fargo. No call on that one. Easy trip call that should have been called, but we play on. Angels with it. Shots in off. Goes a stick. Goes up and over the net. Angels with it in the corner again. Sends it through the middle. Kept in by the Angels right at the blue line there. They send it down low. Aviators chasing, trying to get control of this puck, but it's all Angels right now. Puck comes loose. And we get a whistle, or excuse me, the net comes loose, and we get a whistle, and we'll reset the net down there and get a face off in the Aviators' end. Oh, Aviators finally getting some shots on net, but still giving up the goals as it's now 6-0. Face off in the Aviators' end. Push towards the net. Looks like Blake tried to cover that up. Came loose. Berger's going to poke this one up the wall, but not out. Angels able to keep that one in. They send it down low below the goal line. Meet him up behind his own net. Sent up the wall. They feed over to the far side. Comes to Caden Yana. He tries to chip it forward, but the Angels player was able to deflect that, and they bring it right back into the Aviators' end. Berg sends it up the wall, out to the point, but not out. Shot through traffic goes wide. It'll be Kulak on the near side picking this one up. He whiffed on the first attempt. He still has it. Trying to slip through a couple players, had it knocked away. Miedema pushes it over to the near side corner where Berg forces it up to Wyatt. Wyatt hands it off to Kulak. Kulak trying to get through a couple defensemen here. Backhands one towards the middle. Yana picks it up. He gets knocked off the puck. Kulak has it. He takes a shot through traffic. Goaltender kicks that one away. Comes over to Wyatt. Wyatt rings around behind the net. Yana trying to get there, but Angels were able to chip and go around him. Broken stick over there. Angels able to get through the traffic and they bring it down the far right side. They send it through the middle. Shots it on. Blake makes a save on that one. Sent up the sidewall. Push forward there by Benson. Couldn't quite get the puck out. Angels get on it first. They go behind the net. Stuff attempt. Blake seals off the post there. Push back out front. That one ends up in the back of the net. Not sure how that happened. Must have went off a skate. I don't think Blake even saw it coming back out. Just a nonchalant little backhand pass out front and went off somebody into the back of the net. So all the momentum and all the puck luck going the Angels' way today, and none of it for the Aviators. The Angels lead this one 7-0. They've scored a touchdown and got the extra point here, so not even halfway through this game. job by Benson there to keep that one in. Angels have control of it. They're going to feed it up the sidewall. Sent through the middle, trying to get around Daxon. Beats the player to the puck, hands it off to Blasky. Blasky backhands one, gets it up to Fiala. Big hit there on Fiala. He went down, but an arm goes up. Looks like a penalty coming to the Angels here, so a power play coming for the Aviators. Oh, 9:58 remaining here, second period. Aviators on the power play. They're just trying to sneak one past this goalie now. Puck's still loose. Goaltender finally covers it up. And we're going to face off right back where we were. Do it again. Face off one back by the Aviators. Blasky with it. Turns, fires. Went off a skate. Doesn't make it in. Here's Benson. Shots it on goaltender. Makes the save. Puck's still loose. Jordy trying to steal this one back. He loops out towards the top of the zone. Feeds one down low to Daxon. Daxon shot. That didn't make it to the net, I don't believe. Here's turnaround shot and a power play goal for the Aviators. Mason Fiala with a rebound goal. A couple of shots. Not sure how many actually made it to the goaltender. But Fiala able to turn around, fire one, slip it over the bodies in the leg of the goaltender in the back of the net. Break that shutout for the Angels goaltender. Shots showing 16-15 in favor of the Angels. But Angels dominating the scoreboard as they lead 7-1. Puck Lewis picked up by Fiala. Now Blasky, he backhands one out front. Nobody home there. Showers trying to get there. Angels regroup, go behind their net. Spin away from one check. Angels going to skate this one up the far side. Nice job by Fiala. He tried to dump it in on the ref skates. He digs it out of the pile here. Brings it over to the near side. Try to come around the defenseman. Backhands one towards the front of the net. Stays with it. Goes behind the net with it. Blasky trying to chase this one down. Angels with control. This line's starting to take over a little bit and dominate some time. Jordy with it. Lost the handle on that one. Out of the zone comes Angels. They have a step, but nice job by Greener to get back. Shots it on. Blake kicks that one away up into the netting, and we're going to face off. Oh, 8:44 remaining here, second period. 6-goal lead for the Angels. Hard to tell who the teams are coming in this early still when they don't have a lot of league games. Obviously, looking at the league standings, you would have expected this one to be a 7-1 lead the other way, but that's why you got to come to play every game. Fargo trying to get this puck back along the wall. It's picked up by Kulak. Kulak knocked off of his stick. Back comes the Angels. Kulak trying to get back, steal this puck off. That one's pushed in on net. Blake's going to cover up and hold on. Oh, 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go here, second period. Face off in the Aviators' end. Tied up, push forward here. Puck still loose. Looks like the Angels got control of it, but now it's Seffi with it. Out to the point, pushed back in by the Angels. Kulak out of the corner. He comes skating out with it. He sends one to the near side. Got it to Seffi. It went off for her stick. Erased for it down in the Angels' end. Angels go D to D. This one picked up by Miedema. Feeds it forward. Gets it to Nicholson. Backhand attempt. Couldn't quite go past the goaltender. Puck loose out front. Aviators trying to get back on this puck. All three Aviators down low here. Eesh. Nice job by the Aviator forwards to get back there. Could have been an easy breakout for him. This one picked up by Benson. He's going to work it down this near side. Brings it in. Shots it on. That goes off the side of the net. He still has it. Feeds it out to the point. By sends one. That comes loose over to Berg. Berg backhand. Goaltender has to make the save. Angels with it now. Berg trying to knock that puck away. Looks like Aviators found another gear here a little bit. Playing some body, moving the puck around a little more. This one chipped forward to Wyatt. Wyatt slips around the defenseman, trying to get a shot off here. He gets taken down. Net off, and we'll get a whistle. So 6:58 remaining, second period. Shot showing, tied up now, 18-18. Unfortunately, Angels lead 7-1. Be wide to take the face off. He wins that back to Yana, back to Benson. Shot, goaltender makes a save, jumps over the back of the net. Aviators get on it behind the net. This one picked up by Caden Yana along the wall. He tries to send out the point. Here's Benson, shot through traffic, doesn't make it. Gets it back, shot again. Goaltender makes a save, wide open net. Wyatt missed that wide open net far side. Looked like it was bouncing on him a little bit. I don't think he got solid wood on that. As the Angels try to bring this back, down goes Daxon trying to defend. Good job by Berg to get back and help out there. Or they would have had a player behind both defensemen. Picked off there by Caden, couldn't quite control it. Now steals it back again, brings this into the Angels zone, slips away, tried to one hand one up to Wyatt, but the Angels are able to send it back out. Jackson sends over to Benson, Benson to the middle to Berg. The Angels are able to clear it out. Jackson does a pirouette here. He's going to send this one in and off Angels stick. They kind of curved in on the goaltender. He made the glove save though. Loose puck in the neutral zone, bouncing around. Angels settle it down. They'll bring it in down the left side. They chip it forward, knocked away by Easton Green. He has control in the corner. He fed it up to Jordy Schauer. That was off the mark, and Angels send it back down low. Puck comes bouncing out in the high slot. Slap shot attempt. Blake makes a nice save on that one. That one definitely went through some traffic. Stretch past the far side's off the mark. Fiala trying to steal that one away. Angels are going to move it forward, and they'll dump it down into the zone. Stopped by Blake behind the net. He backhands one over to into the corner away from harm's way. This one comes loose to Easton. Easton sends it up the boards. That goes off the boards and all the way down for an icing, and we'll reset back down the Aviators' end. A couple of the lines starting to shine here for the Aviators, putting some pressure on. They do trail by 6 with 5:05 remaining here in the second period. Face off one back by the Angels. Defenseman sends one on, trying to hit the players. Shooting down the slot. Big hit there by Henderson. Knocks out puck away, but Angels still with control, and they send it down back below the goal line. Easton gets knocked off the puck. Backhand sent on. Blake made the save. Puck still loose in the blue paint down there. Looks like it comes loose to Easton. He's talking some smack to one player. He had the stick knocked out of his hands. Now Henderson picks this one up. He's going to try to beat the defenseman. Down on the near side. Has someone with him. Shots it on goaltender. Makes the save. Big hit there by Jordy Schauer. Angels bring this one back. They stay on side. They bring it into the zone. Knocked away. Kept in, but offsides, they say, and we'll get a face-off just outside the zone. Looks like we'll get a face-off here in front of the Angels bench. Just over 4 minutes to play, second period. Golden opportunity just a few minutes ago for Henderson as he came in, but couldn't beat the goaltender. This one chipped forward by Kulak. He's going to skate this one out, feeds one over to Seffi. Seffi trying to get around the defenseman, gets a shot off, gets tipped and goes wide. Seffi tries to feed it out front. Angels gather it up, comes up to the point. Kulak with it. He's going to take a slap shot. Puck rolling on him. Down goes an Angels player. Shots it on there. Looked like it got tipped. Miedema was the defender there for the Aviators, but sent back in offsides by the Angels. And we'll get a face-off. So game's starting to get a little chippy here. Everybody looking for the big hit now. Maybe they've got to be careful. They don't want to put themselves in the box and allow the Angels to have some extended time. Looks like we got a part from the helmet loose here. Maybe got it solved and we'll get back underway. Push back into the Aviators end, picked up by Kulak. He backhands one over to Miedema. Miedema through the middle, that's off the mark, but comes over to Nicholson. Nicholson skates in. Defenseman loses an edge. Down he goes. Shot sent on, whiffed on that one. Seffi there trying to battle, pushing the puck towards the net. It comes loose. It'll come out to the blue line. Excuse me, but Benson couldn't quite keep that one in. We get an offsides call and a face-off coming. 3:17 to play here, second period. Now Aviators leading in the shots on goal department. Picked up by the Angel defenseman. Skates this one down, trying to get around Benson. Works it to the middle. Daxon pokes that one away. Fiala gathers this one up. Or excuse me, that would have been Benson. Off the side of the net. Here's Skiana. Digs it out. Takes a look. Whiffs on that one. Stays with it. Gets it to Daxon. Daxon tried to get a shot off. Whiffed on that one. And Angels bring it right back out in the neutral zone. Shots it on. Blake makes a save on that one. Another shot stopped by Daxon. He's going to skate this one forward. Puts on the brakes. Lost the handle on that one. Caden sends it back down low to him. That's a little off the mark. Angels get on it first. They're going to send it up the wall. Kept in by Benson. Benson through traffic. Sent one in. Goaltender didn't quite see it. It hit his pad when he stuck his glove out. But it stays out of the net. Angels send this one down. That'll go for icing. And we're going to face off and back down here in the Angels' end. 2:11 left in the second period. Fiala line comes out for the Aviators. Easton and Nick on defense. That one pushed through. Gathered up here. Jordy trying to get control of it. Now Blasky. Shot through. Bouncing puck. Backhanded on by Jordy. That goes up and over the net. He gets control of it again. Sends it through the middle. Gets to Fiala. Fiala's shot goes wide. Angels gathered up. Out of the zone they come. Send it to the far side. Henderson defending. Gets around the defenseman. Shot sent on. That one whistles wide. Picked up by Blasky. Gives it off to Easton Green, who loses an edge. Picked up by Angels again in the slot. Shot sent on. Blake makes a save on that one. Sent out to the point. Shot sent on. Blake makes a glove save. Holds on, and we're going to face off. 1:23 to go, second period. Aviators still trailing by 6. Starting to get a couple chances here, though. Got a lot of work to do, though. Fiala to take the face off. Went over to the near side wall. Shots it on from the point by the defender for the Angels. Blake holds on to that one. We're going to face off. Easton Green with it. Sends it up to the near side wall to Blasky. Blasky up the wall, but can't quite get that one out. Angels able to keep a couple of chances in. Easton Green trying to slip away from the check here. He still has the puck. Gets it up to Blasky off of his skate. Angels kept it in. They still have control up at the top of the point. Shot sent on. That one gloved down by Blake. Holds on. We're going to face off. 53 seconds to go, second period. Out comes the Fargo line. He's got Seffi and Luke with him. Looks like it'll be Kulak and Miedema on defense. Face off one over the near side wall, picked up by the Angels. Now Seffi in the slot with it. She spins away. Gets it up the blue line. She'll skate this one forward with some speed. Down the near side, cuts the middle, trying to get through. Got a shot off, but it got blocked. Comes loose out of the neutral zone to Miedema. Miedema sends it over to Kulak. Kulak sends up the wall, gets it to Nicholson, went off of his stick. Angels regain control. They'll bring this one into the Aviators' end. Miedema knocks away into the corner. Tied up. Fargo pushes one up the wall, gets it to Seffi. Seffi with it. Tried to push it forward around the defensive stick. He was able to stop that. Gets over the red line, dumps it back down the Aviators' end. 10 seconds to go. Miedema grabs it behind his own net. Sends it up the wall to Seffi. Seffi backhands one up, trying to get to Fargo. Fargo knocks it to the middle to Miedema. Miedema chips around the defenseman, but that's the end of the second period. And we'll take a short little break. Oh, the Aviators got a lot of work to do here now in the third period. They trail by 6. As they got 17 minutes left to play. They've closed the gap on the shots, though, as Angels lead that 24-23. Aviators are getting some shots through from the point. Have surprised the goalie. He's made a couple saves I don't think he intended to make, but has been able to hold on and keep this a 6-goal game as we get ready for the third period. Oh, Aviators back at it again tomorrow. For those of you interested in watching that one, we'll be headed over to Thief River Falls. I believe that's a 5 or 5:30 start over in, I believe 5. Yeah, I think I have it set for 4:55 to start the broadcast. But we'll be playing that. We were originally playing in the Ralph Engelstead Arena over there, which is a beautiful arena. I'm sure some of you have seen it. But that got moved over to the Huck Olson Memorial Civic Center, which is on the same property, just on the back side of the Ralph. A little bit colder, a little bit older, but they do actually have another rink there that's even worse. But we will be playing over there tomorrow. There's some stands and some height for me to get up and film from over there, so look out for that one. I have posted the event to the Facebook page already, and it has the link that you can click on there to bring it right to the live stream. So hopefully you can join us for that one. That one, if the Aviators come out like they've been playing today, that one's not going to be pretty, because that team will probably be much better than this Fargo Angel team. But Aviators and Angels been fairly even here in the second period. That first period was all Fargo. They controlled the play, didn't give up anything on defense. But Aviators starting to even it out here a little bit in the second period. Maybe the Angels have gone into coast mode a little bit, but either way, we get ready for the third period. Wide body to take the face off. His line, he's out there with Caden Yana and Owen Berg. Angels bring it in. Daxon knocks it away from one player. Puck still loose. Comes loose to the stick, a wide by. He goes behind his own net. Sends it up the wall. Gets it to Berg. Defenseman for the Angels slides down. Keeps it in the zone. Picked up by Benson. Sends it up. Angels able to keep it at the blue line, but Benson tries to force this one out. Still in the zone. Benson curls away from one Angel player. Sends it up the wall. Gets it to Berg. Finally comes loose in the neutral zone. Wyatt pushes it forward, but Angels get control. They send it up the wall. It comes out in the neutral zone. Backhanded over to the near side. Jackson defends that one. Picked up by Berg here right in front of us. Stolen away by the Angels. They feed one through the middle. That one sent all the way down the ice. Absolutely no icing, since the Angels were the ones that fired it down. Behind the net, Angels gathered up. They go D to D. They send it up the sidewall. Aviators going for a change, so easy breakout for them. Comes loose. Easton Green pushes it back out in the neutral zone. Jordy Shower trying to steal that one away. Picked up by Jordy. Makes a move, gets around one defenseman, chips it down in below the goal line. Picked up by Blask as he flies behind the net. Lost control of it. It'll be sent out to the point. Henderson will keep it in. He slips around one Angels check. Uses his body to fight that one off. Gets a shot off. Goes off a stick up into the netting. And we'll get a whistle. Oh, running time here in the third period with this 6-goal lead for the Angels. We're already down to 15 minutes to go in the third. Fiala to take the face off. Caught up in his skates. Bouncing puck into the slot. Angels look like they're gather this one up. They feed it through the middle and out into the neutral zone they come. Easton, Nick defending. Nick steals that one away. Feeds it up to Jordy. Jordy skates it forward. Sends a pass over to the far side wall to Fiala. Fiala around the defenseman. Sends it up back out front. Blasky couldn't get a stick on that one. Came all the way through, and Angels bring it back out in the neutral zone. Henderson retreats into his own zone to pick this one up. Sends it over to Easton. Easton up the wall. Chips one through, trying to get it to Jordy. That bounces through everybody. Race for this one. Fiala knocks that one away, but Angels have control behind their own net. Skates this one up, comes loose out to Kulak at center ice. He sends one across over to Fiala. Fiala chips it down in. They'll chase after it. Big hit there by Fiala down along the wall. Angels with control, but Fiala steals it away for the moment. It's up to the blue line. Miedema trying to keep it in. Looks like the Angels get control. No, out they come. Working on Kulak. Kulak knocks that one away. He's going to skate this one forward. He has some open ice in front of him. Down the right side. Takes a shot. Goaltender gets a glove on that. Holds on. We'll get a face-off. Well, clock continues to tick down. 13.5 minutes to go here in the third period. Angels leading this one 7-1. Angels trying to make a pass there. Aviators knocked it away. Got a shot on net. It comes loose out into the neutral zone here. And Angels dump it down in. Miedema snags it. He slips away from one. Backhands one over to his deep partner, Kulak. Kulak up to Nicholson. Nicholson gets tied up right away. Angels have it in the high slot, but poked away by Kulak. He's going to race down the left side, trying to beat the defenseman. Backhands one up front. Comes to Fargo. Fargo works it down low. Seffi battling in there, but Angels dig it out, and out of the zone they come. Dumps it, goes around Daxon, race for it behind the net. Fargo comes down to help out. Backhands one up to Benson. Angels able to keep it in. Benson uses Fargo as a screen, goes behind his own net. Up to speed, cutting through the defense, loses the handle on that one. Angels take over. Fargo comes in though and steals that one away. Nice job by Mason Fargo there to steal that puck away in the corner. Nicholson trying to find it. Bouncing puck stolen away by Benson. Benson's going to dump this one down and it's going to hit the back of the net. Aviators going for a change here. Puck comes loose to Caden Yana. Yana with it, spins, sends it down low. Wyatt goes behind the net. He tries to send it over to Berg. That goes off a stick. Arm up, looks like a penalty here on the Angels, so the Aviators will go on the power play. Looks like Wyatt's line will stay out there. He's got Yana to his left, Berg to his right. It'll be Henderson and Green as defense, picked up by Yana. Yana takes a look. Backhands one up to Henderson. Henderson gives it back to Yana. Yana sends one over to Green. That went off a stick. Green's going to have to dump this one down in the corner. Gathered up by Wyatt down low. Sends it out from behind the net. Got stopped by a Angels stick. Yana trying to find the puck. Now Berg comes in to help. Comes loose to Berg. Berg sends one down to Wyatt. Wyatt with it. Sends one out to Easton. Easton shoots through traffic. That one off a body, comes out of the zone. Picked up by Henderson. Henderson slipping by one player. Got it poked away by the next. He has it again in his own zone. Bucks in on the near side to Yana. Tried to set up the wall. The ref got in the way of that one. Angels are going to keep this one in. This one's sent back down below. Stopped by Blakey. Backhands one up to Henderson. Henderson up to Berg. Berg to the middle trying to hit Yana. Angels get there first. They send it out in the neutral zone. Picked up by Miedema. Miedema backhands one in. Aviators going for a change. Still 40 seconds left on the power play. Send up the wall. Comes to Kulak at the point. Shot through traffic. That comes in and the goaltender makes a save. Goaltender likes to leave every shot. Doesn't like to hold on to the pucks very much. Lets everything come out as a rebound. This one will be dumped down right at us here for icing, and we'll reset back down in the Angels' end for a face-off. By the time we get this face-off going, that power play will be over for the Angels, and they'll be back 5-on-5. Oh, 5-on-5. Shots in on that one. Whistled just by the far post. Jordy sends it back to Kulak. Kulak shot through traffic, went off his skate. Angels gathered up, back they come, 2-on-1. Down the far side. Shot sent in, that one whistles high and over the net. It will come out to Blasky at the blue line. Angels get control of it. They send it up the wall. Comes into the Aviators end, picked up by Charlie. Charlie over to Jace. Jace sends it through the middle. That goes off of Angels' stick. They get control of it down in their own zone. Now work this one out, but taken away by Jordy for a moment, but Angels are able to carry on. And then knocked away by Blasky, picked up by Jordy. Jordy cuts the middle, sends it over to Blasky. Blasky backhands one in. Nice little nifty move there by Blasky and Jordy. Getting the goalie moving left or right, and they find the back of the net. Make this 7-2. Oh, face off. Trying to get this figured out. I think they're asking if the clock will stop now, but it looks like it'll continue to roll. Angels bring it in. Jackson battling forward here. Skates this one forward. Sends that one off the wall down below the goal line. Angels slow it down. Fiala trying to steal that one away. Puck comes loose out to Benson. Actually, that was Blasky who grabbed it and sent it down low, but Angels are able to chip it out. Puck comes loose, picked up by Benson here. Comes in on Blake all alone. Nice job by Blake. Gets out, pokes that one away. Over to the near side here. Benson, excuse me, overskate that one. Angels able to keep it in for a moment. Picked up by Benson again. Lost the hand on that one. Comes to Blasky. Blasky backhands one over to Jordy. He sends one over to Daxon. Picked up by Fiala. Fiala brings it in down the right side. Pass off the mark. Angels look like they're trying to get this out, but Aviators able to keep it in. Jordy has to backhand one down low, gets it to Fiala. Fiala elected not to pass that to Benson. Got a shot off, goaltender makes a save. Angels trying to get this out of their own zone. They do get it out in the neutral zone. Fiala with tired legs comes off. Battle for the puck here. Angels get there first. They send him through the middle, but picked up by Benson. Benson slips around one player. Sends it over to Seffi. She got on her backhand, forces it down into the corner. Behind the net, Seffi, stuff attempt. Puck still loose. Comes out to the point. On to Easton Green's stick. He elects to send it down in the corner. Comes back out to Easton. Easton shots it on. That goes off a stick. Angels trying to spring a player behind the defense. Henderson trying to hurry up and get their shots in on. Blake makes a big save on there. Another chance. Puck comes back out front, but picked up by Henderson. Henderson, if they hurry, 3-on-2. He's got Nicholson on the far side. Seffi trailering now. Trying to get through the defense. Lost the handle on that one. And it comes out in the neutral zone, but it went off a stick of a player on the Angels bench. And we'll get a face off. Should be down in the Angels' end. Oh, 5:15 on the clock. Continues to roll here. Fans wanting the time to stop, but it looks like they're just going to continue with running time. Or excuse me, Miedema with it. He sends it up to Fargo. Fargo chips it down into the zone. Seffi with it behind the net, feeds it up front, puck loose. Goaltender dives on it, gets a hold on it, and we'll get a face-off. About 4.5 minutes to play here in the third period. Tied up behind the net down there. Okay, Yana getting shoved, or actually that was Wyatt. No, that was Yana, sorry. Puck loose out front, backhanded off of Wyatt's chest. He gets pushed into the corner. Yana trying to get around. Angels gather this one up. They send it up the wall. Berg knocked that one out of the air. Angels got to retreat a little bit. Wyatt battling in there. Tied up along the wall. Angels dig it out. They go behind their own net. Put on the break, reverse it back to this near or far side. That one went off a wide stick. He handed it off to Miedema. Miedema got his pocket pick. Back on the Angels, 2-on-1. Kulak defending. Caught up in his skates. Takes that one away nicely. Feeds it up to Wyatt. Wyatt with it. Brings in, or tried to stretch it across the blue line there. But Angels pick it off and they send it down in the Aviators' end. Picked up by Miedema. Sends it over to Kulak. Kulak to the middle. Angels take it away. Kulak gets it again. Skates this one forward. Gets up to Berg. Berg sends it over to Wyatt. Wyatt back to Kulak. Kulak down the right side. Shots in on. That one whistles by the goal post. Berg trying to keep it in at the blue line. Now Wyatt as well. Comes back to Kulak in his own zone. He had that one poked away. Angels gathered up. They try to backhand one on net. That one sent through some legs. Chance for Angels there, but a quick glove by Blake keeps that one out of the back of the net. We'll get a face-off. A face-off here. I guess it was supposed to be stop clock, but the referee said let's keep it playing. So 5 goals it is. We continue on. Angels with it behind the Aviators' net. Benson comes back to steal that one away. Now Shower in there with it. Still battling for this one. Along the wall far side, Angels push it back down deeper. Shower comes back to steal it away. It looks like he will steal this one away. Net comes off and we get a whistle. Well, just under 2 minutes to play here. Still a 5-goal game. Angels all over the Aviators. They lead 7-2. So we're going to move the face off over to this side. Fiala to take the face off for the Aviators. Tied up in the ref skates. Blasky pushes this one forward. He'll skate this one down 2-on-1. He's got Shower out front. Gets it over to him. Went off a stick of the Angels defenseman though. Didn't quite get over to Jordy. Angels send this one down. Blake comes out. He just fires this one over to the far side. Gets to Ryder. Ryder tried to chip it over to Mason, but that hit Angels player. This one's sent through the middle all the way down. That'll go for icing. We'll head back down to the Angels' end, but we're down under 1 minute to play here. Maybe closer to 35 seconds when we get this puck dropped. Puck's down, comes back to Easton at the point. He sends one down low. Angels with control. They go behind their own net. Backhand one up the far side wall. Sent through the middle. That one's trapped by the Aviators, but Angels get control of it and they dump it down into the Aviators' end. Easton Green comes over to gather it up. Tries to chip it up the wall. Can't quite get it out. Angels trying to keep this one in the zone. Easton looks like he will get it out in the neutral zone this time. About 10 seconds to play here. Angels dig it out. 3-on-1 low down here. Shot sent on that one. Whistles high. Comes out to the point. That one's sent in. Blake gets a glove on it, and that'll be the end of this one. 7-2 victory for the Angels over the Aviators. They dominated them in that first period, and it was just way too much for the Aviators to dig themselves out of that big of a hole. Both teams going to shake hands at center ice here. So for you that are looking for that game tomorrow, just head to the website. You'll see the event for 5 o'clock tomorrow. That will be taking on the Thief River Falls Prowlers. That will be a pretty good team. If I was to guess, similar to that Roseau game. Aviators will definitely have to come to play in that one. I will start the broadcast about 5 minutes early, so hopefully you can join us for that one. Watch the warm up and all that stuff, and we'll try to get some idea of what those teams, or what Thief River Falls looks like based off of their games so far this season. Either way, we appreciate you guys joining us for this one, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another one. We will see you next time.